Hi. Well, my name is Paul Constantin. You guys already know me. And this is my ongoing rush to complete week two, week 2.5, which is our zoo experiment. Anyways, at this point, I've got it playing on my slow laptop, and well, I've completed the spawn script for the worms, which are still not toppling over. I haven't figured out why that no longer works. So that comes later on. We've got our little salamander, which very fat little salamander, which is not moving yet, and our worms are on various different timers in 4 different spawn spots. I also have 2 patrol points that I've set up for now, which I need to make visible. One's here, and the other is in this spot here. I can make that visible too if need be. Just there you go. But the problem we're having now is actually giving the salamander pathing. And for that, I was originally going to set up an array, a growable array of path points, but time constraints are not going to allow that. Let's see. I should probably open all the scripts. 1 second. Okay, let's see. We've got 1. This is going to take a second. Yes. Anyways, this is the ongoing script where I've declared my growable array. I have the prey, which takes precedence, and that gives it our bool. Excuse me, I'm still out of sleep. Our bool, which is locked on. Whenever the salamander detects a hunt now target, and hunt now is not null, then it will lock on, which means it will not go back to its regular path finding until it actually eats whatever it was locked onto, or that item is no longer in existence, which would result in null. I had a value for how sated it can get, so that after it destroys several targets, it will just ignore the rest until it's no longer full. But that's going to take more work, and I think it's beyond the purpose of our exercise for now. I obviously can't have it burrow because we don't have we're not yet at the breakable content type stuff for just this 1 week. Since they are amazing little critters, but I can't really do that right now. So, acquire prey will set hunt now as looking for whatever is named worm, and set that as hunt now. If hunt now is not null, it will set it as a target. If obviously hunt now has found nothing, then hunt now, and this will only get called in from a not locked on status. Then it will set locked on as true and give it the target as the hunt now object. Moving to will simply just pick whatever the target's position is and head towards it at whatever the move speed is. We can make this thing move faster or slower. If you've ever seen a salamander in action, they're actually quite fast for a bunch of fat little slimy things. They actually move faster when they're fatter. When they're starving, they're actually quite slow. Let's see. So here we have our eat is going to be just this. It's going to be, if it collides with something and that something is a worm, then it will destroy that something and up the satiety. I can't pronounce it right now. I'm out. ESO for the win. It will be sated with 1 more earthworm. Anyways, I wanted to do something else here where I would compute the distance between various prey items and pick the closest one. But I'll skip on that for now. Again, time constraints. So anyways, that was the hunt script, and now we can go and play with, let us scroll up. This is the spawn worms script, which what this does is basically, I took a page out of Professor's uploads on Perforce, and called the NPC item toy and the NPC itself an NPC. So In this case, the toy name will be Worm, but it can be changed, so that's why I've made almost all this stuff public, so it can be changed from the inspector. The spawn rate is set to 12, but again, that can be changed, and I've changed it for my spawns, which is why you see them spawning randomly, well, semi-randomly, but not at the same times at least. So anyways, I have toy spawn and the parent object. This does not need to be used, but I won't change it right now. A spawn location and a spawn timer, which is what we increment here in update. See where spawn toy as a function will actually check whether the timer is greater than the spawn rate for whatever the trigger box we're working with, and that's my dinner. So the toy spawn is basically a game object instance of our prefab, which is what we pass into it up here, and it will be spawned at the location, which we can pass in by for example, here wrong item. Here I've done it by passing, for spawn location, I passed the trigger box that the script is attached to. So each one of these trigger boxes spawns in a different place. And you can see the timers are also changing. Oh boy, okay. So I pass in a new transform, so that way the worms will not all just pop up in the middle, which was joyous. I actually had to hunt a very interesting problem earlier. Excuse me, want to kill this? I had to hunt down a particular problem, and that problem was that I actually set all of these commands to the spawner commands. Basically, I set them outside of my script, and that resulted in an explosion of worm pellets that quite probably would have locked up the system if I had left it run long enough. So anyways, we get the rigid body and we set an initial velocity. This was the only reason I set these two was to try to get the worms to fall over, and I couldn't get it done. Anyways, I had more things in mind, but for the time being, I just have them spawn. This part is basically complete. If I can get them to fall over, that's an extra point, just so they can have some motion to them. For the time being, this will work. So my next script, which one was it? Decay. I decided that I didn't want to have problems with our earthworms sticking around too long if the salamander decided not to eat them, since they'd burrow back down. So in this case, I gave it a counter. It's just a basic counter script, which increases by delta time. It checks. This is our check decay, and since the worms are instantiated, we just pop them with destroy this.game object. Obviously if the decay time is greater than the counter, and we can let them live longer if we want to, and again that's publicly accessible from the inspector. Oh, wrong one again. Here we go. I had event caller move me forward from our lesson, but they are not necessary. Again, this is not done, but I am uploading it because Professor instructed me to upload it on time and then continue working for my extension. Anyways, for materials, I've just pulled all the material, basically the basic colors from our other setting. I had created some of my own, but while they're quite pretty, they're not a gray box scenario, so we had to go with gray box. Here's my prefabs, properly named, toy, and the thing that eats the toy, pardon me, NPC, and with scripts attached, etc. And the entire terrarium is also set up as a prefab, which, as you can see, contains all the walls and other elements. Anyways, I hope that helps out. I'd love to have more to present right now, but it is not completed, so I'll just continue working after I eat dinner. While this video uploads, of course. So, have a great night.